Give him a round of applause, please. I had the privilege of meeting Brother Jesse Muhammad last year at a Gaza march, and I've been following his blog ever since. His blog in Houston is one of the most read blogs in the country. Brother Jesse Muhammad is also a writer for The Final Call, an amazing publication by the Nation of Islam. And Brother Jesse also does amazing work with HBCUs all around the country. I'm a little emotional after this film, so I'm gonna hand it over to Brother Jesse before I start wilding out on the microphone. So without further ado, Brother Jesse Muhammad is gonna introduce the rest of the panel. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for this amazing film.
Peace, how's everybody doing? Assalamu alaikum. Hotel. What's up? All that good stuff. Man, I'm right there with you, brother. It was tough for me to watch that, all the way through without getting really literally angry, to be honest with you. And I definitely am familiar, with that similar situation in Houston. It happens in New Orleans, and so I applaud you, brother. Let's give them a round of applause for that film. Because real talk, it may look like it's fun, you putting a film together, but you putting your life on the line, putting information out like that, because information is serious warfare. So I applaud y'all courage. Strong brothers, man. I appreciate that. Okay, this part, we're going to have a panel discussion talking about the state of violence and community response and solution-oriented talk. So I have the honor of bringing up a group of panelists where they're going to introduce themselves, then we're going to pose some questions to them, pose questions to you, and I want to first say that my goal is to write and document solution-oriented things that we all say today. I'm going to write it up, give it to the organizer. Speaking of which, let me first stop, do my honor. I want to thank my friend, Emily, and all of the organizers at the conference for bringing me here. Now, don't be fooled by Emily. If y'all would have saw her at the Gaza rally last year, you wouldn't even think that it's her. She's kind of wild and off the hook, but she does a lot of great work. So I thank the organizers of this and my buddy Jordan. Don't be fooled by his smile lady, he crazy too, and all that, but I'm glad to be here. So at this time, again, I'm going to document the things that we say because me, myself, the state that I'm in and the time that I'm in, not that I'm old, I'm just 31, but I'm just really tired of just talking just for the sake of talking, and then we don't document anything and we don't have no follow-up. I just don't have time for that anymore. So everything that we say about what we would like to do and see, I'm going to put that in document form myself as a journalist, give it to Emily, and if they have your email address, we're going to send it out, and also I'm going to put it on my blog and any write-up that I'm able to get in the Final Call. So let's go ahead and get this started. The first panelist I will call up is our brother, who you are definitely familiar with him now based upon the film. Let's please bring up to the stage Minister of Information, J.R. Valrey of Oakland, California. The next person we want to bring up is a local soldier in the streets we want to bring up. She is representing the State Street Strong Committee. That's Miss Yvette Thierry. Let's give her a round of applause and bring her to the stage. Now we want to bring up a brother who works with the Louisiana, that sounds like Lil Wayne, the Louisiana Museum of African American History, our beloved brother Leon Walter. Let's bring him up to the panel. And a strong sister who is working with our ex-offenders of the group Voice of the Ex-Offender. Let's please welcome to the stage Miss Rosana Cruz. And our brother who produced that film, the other executive producer of Operation Small Axe, Adimu. Let's bring our brother from Oakland, California, 393 Films. Brother told me he actually started studying film first in Africa. So we can definitely see that. And our last panelist for today, you have a seat up there? Oh, you got it right there. Okay, you blocking it. We want to bring up our beloved brother who is a great performer, a multidisciplinary artist out of Oakland, California as well. He was in the film too, Brother Marcel Diallo. Let's give him a round of applause. The Black Jack Cafe. So starting off, we want just 2 to 3 minutes for you all to get more familiarized with the panel. I'm going to pass the mic to them, 2 to 3 minutes to give them a brief introduction of themselves, the work that they're doing. Then we're going to get down to the nuts and bolts.
I'm the Minister of Information, JR. I'm with an organization called the Prisoners of Conscience Committee that was founded by Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. I'm a journalist. I'm an associate editor of the SF Bayview newspaper. It's a nationwide black newspaper out of Hunters Point, San Francisco. And also I'm the executive producer of Block Report Radio, which you can find online at blockreportradio.com. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I'm an organizer, community organizer. And you know, we just now venturing into film. I had some other stuff that we did where we exposed Bobby Rush, who some of y'all may know as a former Panther, but we exposed him, you know, as a traitor to our people. That's another movie though. So this is my second attempt at working on film, but you know, I want to just thank all the people that helped put this together, and more importantly, y'all for coming, and you know, thank you for viewing it, and I'm eager to hear what y'all, you know, what comments and what questions y'all have.
Good afternoon. I'm Yvette, Thierry. I'm an organizer with Safe Street Strong Communities, which is housed right down in Block 1600 over at the Castle Haley, where there are several other organizations in the office with us, being JJPL, the acronym for Justice Project of Louisiana. They work with juvenile justice. We have FLIC, Family and Friends of Louisiana, incarcerated children. We have Youth Empowerment next door. And Safe Streets is sort of the strange one in the bunch, because we deal with police accountability basically with adults, where most of our other comrades work with strictly juvenile, but we interact with both of them. And so we organize around a lot of the abuse from police that goes on in our community. As you know, the two most, I guess, well, three really. The Daisinger 7 is the Madison family who came to Safe Streets over a year and a half ago, looking for justice for their special needs brother, who was like 40 years old, but mental, you know, like a 12-year-old at heart. And the other brother, who was a 17-year employed with FedEx or one of these companies, but he was productive on his job for 17 years, who was arrested and given bogus charge by NOPD in the aftermath of Katrina. The Glover case, William Tanner, relative of Glover, came looking for justice because he knew that Glover was murdered by the NOPD, but nobody would listen. The Michael Anderson case, the aunt of Michael Anderson is a leader at Safe Street Strong Communities, and we have been just rallying around that family. And so now, as you have heard, that Michael's going to get a new case, and the officer on that case is also involved in the Daisinger 7 case, who out and out lied. So this is going to share new light for Michael Anderson case. And so that's what we do.
My name is Leon Waters, and I work with a museum called Louisiana Museum of African American History. I serve as the chairperson of that organization. Prior to Katrina, we were located in second floor of St. Augustine Catholic Church Hall, we had a site where we were working to popularize hidden history. Much of our work concentrates on hidden history of African Americans in Louisiana, history of women, and labor. We don't have that site today, but we are working hard to try to find a new location to open up and put our exhibits back up and begin the process of repopularizing what we started about 4 years ago. Looking at this panel, it seems that I'm the oldest person up here. And so I like to use a little seniority, so to speak. I'm very happy to be here. I was very moved by the movies, both of them, because I remember when I was at that age, to see the anger, to see the youthfulness, and see the spirit of the people was very uplifting. But I would like to make this comment to everybody, particularly those who are very active in this very, very serious struggle, the struggle against police terror, is that I really urge you to find time to really study this question. Not just be involved, but to actually study and learn, because there's a tremendous amount has to be learned to get a very clear understanding of the true nature of what you're fighting. Many times in our youthful ways, and many times when we are not completely, totally clear, we make youthful errors. The defeat of this criminal government, criminal state, is going to require a tremendous level of organization and proper leadership by those who are serious about tackling this particular problem. And I'm hoping that we can get into some real exchange about that, where I can share more in depth what I have learned after 35 years fighting the police in this city and in this state.
My name is Rosana Cruz. I work with an organization called VOTE, Voice of the Ex-Offender, and we build electoral and economic power for formerly incarcerated people. We're a grassroots organization, and we believe that people who are most impacted by the criminal justice system, that is, people who are incarcerated, their loved ones, low-income communities with high rates of incarceration, are the ones who have the most at stake to transform the criminal justice system into one that is about public safety and not about the criminalization of people of color and poor people. We have several programs, but the bulk of what we do is really a long-term fight around changing the system from within. And by that, what we are trying to do is educate and train formerly incarcerated people to know what the law is, to be legal experts. And we were founded by someone who was wrongfully incarcerated, my mentor and colleague Norris Henderson, who was wrongfully incarcerated for 27 years and is a legal expert and someone who many leaders in the community turn to for legal information and for advocacy. And what we're basically trying to do is make more people like Norris, make folks who are out there, who know the law from both the inside and the outside. And our long-term goal is to run formerly incarcerated people for office. Formerly incarcerated people have the right to vote in the state of Louisiana. A lot of people are disenfranchised by the fact that they don't know that they have that right. And that voting block is an enormous amount of power, potential power in the state of Louisiana. And our intent is to not only mobilize that voting block, but to actually have candidates who have that experience of being incarcerated and actually develop a policy think tank that's made up by people who have been inside that monster and know the best ways to dismantle it.
Once again, my name is Adimu Madyun. I'm the director and producer for this film. I run a film company called 393 Films, and 393, in terms of traditional African numerology, the 3 is the entrance, the 9 is the transformation, and the 3 is also the exit. And so the purpose of my work is to really bring you into a transformative situation where you could leave just being transformed from what you were seeing. this film was very difficult to make. You know, just even, I've seen the footage so many times, just from cutting it and filming it, and even just sitting back there right now. And, you know, when they picked up the dog, and they left DeAndre Brunson there to die, man, you know, and that's some difficult stuff, you know? And so, this artwork, this edutainment that we do, you know, we really sacrifice a lot for it. And we do it so that we can transform your way of thinking and your way of seeing stuff. A lot of the stuff that you might have seen on there, the way that people were talking, might be quote-unquote politically incorrect. But I hope people could see past that and really see the knowledge and the teachings and the words that the people were speaking to you. A lot of times, we don't get a chance to see how the people really feel and how they speak. And that was the main goal of this film, you know, to show you how the people feel and think. And again, I thank everybody for seeing it. And yeah, blessings are due.
My name is Marcel Diallo, based in Oakland right now. I'm an artist, a poet, interested in beautiful things, you know. That's what I'm interested in, beautiful things. And, a lot of my work centers around just creating beauty and promoting beauty and educating around beauty, but these forces around us that want to make us ugly, you know, they tend to put us in situations to try to reveal some inner ugliness or throw these ugly things on us and put us in ugly situations. So, you know, what's come from that is us attempting to preserve our beauty in the face of that ugly. And what's happened is in Oakland, California, the way that we're doing that is we're actually preserving a historic black cultural district there that we call the Village Bottoms. It's in West Oakland, and you guys are in New Orleans. This is where my ancestors is from too. So the equivalent to West Oakland in New Orleans would be the Treme. You know, it's the oldest black neighborhood in Oakland, and it's currently under attack by all the forces. You know, the police brutality, the gentrification, the redlining, the agent provocateurs, you know, and everything is happening. So me, really as a poet and a person concerned with beauty and just wanting to express myself with an art gallery and a poetry cafe, I ended up having to try to start a land-based struggle, organize the community, buy up a whole block, you know what I mean, start a social ed pleasure club, have a cafe, a gallery, and then, you know, get about 50 of my friends to buy houses and make sure that they don't get, you know what I mean? So it takes this person to just trying to be concerned with beauty and to have to be a political organizer by default. I'm not really wanting to be a political organizer. You know, I want to get back to writing my books and my music and that kind of thing, but that's what the situation calls for. So now we find ourselves, you know, in the midst of holding on to one of the last strips of black-owned land in West Oakland amidst fierce, rapid gentrification and basically police, just, I don't know what to call this, police onslaught we're doing right now, police terrorism and whatnot. So I'm gonna just pass it over so we can get this started.
All right, let's give all our panelists a round of applause. All right, let's get right down to the nuts and bolts now. And looking at somebody already got their hand up. That's what I'm talking about. Now, oh, you saying hi? How you doing? Good to see you. That's beautiful. Now let's get down to it now. Let's jump right from the film, you know, because that's definitely fresh on our minds. Now, I saw a lot of organizing going on the film. Of course, I read it through the Final Call, read it in the San Francisco Bay View. A lot of stuff was going on in there. But I've noticed, too, in my travels and writing, there's a lot of times with our people who just don't know the first thing to do to organize, to protest anything. They don't know how to respond to it. They don't know what they should do. All they know is we're going to sit at our house at the barbershop and talk about it. So I just wanted the first thing, what are some of those nuts and bolts things that are essential to be effective in your response to things that happen in our community, i.e. Oscar grant, NOPD officer, whatever it may be. what are some of the nuts and bolts things in the community? You all can think about this as well. We're going to start with the panel. What are some of the things that we need to respond effectively?